Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, welcome to Larry's House of Hockey. Picking back up with my little memorable playoff series playlist, and we're up to 1983. And I know this might, I just for the heck of it, I decided to wear the fisherman, even though that might be considered sacrilege talking about a New York Islanders Stanley Cup team. But I wanted to look at this one because this was the end of one dynasty and what would be the start of another the very next year. So, the New York Islanders and the Edmonton Oilers meet in the Stanley Cup Final. Now, the road to before talking about the road to the finals for both teams, it was an 80-game season. Obviously, it was still an 80-game season. The New York Islanders finished with a record of 42, 26, and 12. That was for 96 points. The Edmonton Oilers, they finished the regular season with 47 wins, 21 losses, 12 ties for 106 points. So it was a 10-point difference between these two teams. And the Oilers had home ice advantage. Didn't really mean much in this series. But the road to the finals, the New York Islanders rode to their fourth consecutive Stanley Cup. They defeated the Washington Capitals 3-1 in the Patrick Division semifinal. And yes, at this time, it was still the first round was still a best of 5. Then, in the Patrick Division final, they defeated their arch rival, the New York Rangers, 4-2. And then in the Wales Conference final, they defeated the Boston Bruins 4-2. So coming into the final, they were looking good, but these weren't exactly, records to, they had some struggles. They went 11-5 on their way to the final. The Oilers, their road to the final started out against the Winnipeg Jets in the Smythe Division semifinal. They swept them 3-0. They just kind of took the Jets and was like, no problem. Then in the Smythe Division final, they play the Calgary Flames, and they win that series 4-1. Looking good so far. Campbell Conference final, they play the Chicago Blackhawks, and they sweep them 4-0. So the Edmonton Oilers coming into the final only lost one game. Only one game entering the final. Well, as we see here in the final, it's a little bit different. So, game 1, the Islanders win 2-0. They start out in the first period. I forgot to write down which Sutter brother that was. But it started out with one of the Sutter brothers scoring at 5:36 from Bourne and Pearson. So it's 1-0 after the first period. Then there's no scoring in the second. And then in the third, it's not until late in the third when Ken Morrow scores an empty net goal at 19:48 from Dennis Potvin. So that makes the score 2-0. That's the final. The Islanders go up 1-0. Game 2. This one was a little, actually, no. Before jumping ahead to Game 2, I got other stats here. Power play, the power plays, by the way, in this series, horrible. Absolutely horrible power plays. I mean, it was just awful. These teams were not good with the man advantage. The Islanders went 0 for 6 on the power play. The Oilers went 0 for 9. Ouch. Saves, Billy Smith stopped all 35 shots. And Andy Moog, he stopped 22 of 23. Of course, Billy Smith, perfect save percentage. Andy Moog had a pretty good save percentage too. Only really allowing one goal. He had a .957 save percentage. But they lost. Game 2. The Islanders win this one 6-3. And yeah, it starts out. The Oilers actually start out good in this game. They strike first. It is Dave Semenko from Ralston and Huddy at 8:39 of the first. So Edmonton gets the 1-0 lead. Looking good, right? Not so much. Then at 14:21, tying the game, it's Janssen from both Sutter brothers, Dwayne and Brent Sutter. That ties the game at 1 apiece. Then at 17:55, the Islanders take the lead. It is Bob Nystrom from Brian Trottier. Makes it 2-1. And then, under a minute to go in the third, these goals under a minute, they can be killers. The Islanders go up 3-1. At 19:17, it is Mike Bossy from Dennis Potvin. So they're rolling here. The Islanders are rolling. They're up 3-1 after the first. Going into the second period, the Oilers, they try to climb back in. They get within a goal. At 5:07, it's Yari Curry from Glenn Anderson and Wayne Gretzky. So that makes it 3-2. Okay, they're making it a game here. Well then, at 8:03, it is Bob Bourne from Brent Sutter at 8:03 to make it 4-2. So the Islanders have that 2-goal lead back. Then, at literally 41 seconds later, at 8:41, I think it's 41 seconds. Or no. Yeah, 41 seconds. Or no, 38 seconds. Boy, I can't add today. At 8:41 though, Brent Sutter from Ken Morrow and brother Dwayne makes it 5-2. So it's 5-2 after the second period, and what was looking like looked like the Oilers were trying to climb back in, and the Islanders just snatched it right away from them. Third period comes around. Again, the Oilers they draw a little bit closer. At 4:48, it's Glenn Anderson from Fogelin and Gretzky. 5-3. Okay, cool. Well, yeah. Then at 14:41, it is Brent Sutter from Dwayne Sutter and Janssen to make it 6-3, and that is your final in game 2. So the Islanders go up 2-0. Billy Smith stopped 30 of 33. Andy Moog, that was a 909 save percentage. Andy Moog wasn't great. He stopped 19 of 25 for a 760 save percentage. Youch. Power plays awful. The Islanders went 0 for 4. The Oilers went 0 for 6. So yeah, power plays. Yeah, if you went on the power play, yeah, the power plays sucked. So they're up 2-0. Game 3. This one, we're back in New York, back on the island, because the Oilers had home ice advantage. These first 2 games were in Edmonton. It didn't matter. Game 3, back on the island, and this one, there was no doubt in this one. The Islanders win 5-1, and it's not pretty. But the first period, you didn't see any scoring till, again, under a minute. At 19:41, it's Kahlur. I think that's how you pronounce Kallur. I think it's Kallur or color, something like that. From Bossy and Morrow. So that gives the Islanders a 1-0 lead after the first period. Then, second period, not a lot of scoring in the first two periods. Second period, right away, just at 1:05, it's Curry from Gretzky. So it's 1-1. So it's 1-1 after the second period. Okay, close game. Getting into the third period, and this is where the Islanders just take over. Third period, at 5:11, it's Bourne from Pearson and Langvin. That makes it 2-1. Then at 6:21, so just a little over a minute later, it's Morrow from Trottier and Kallur. That makes it 3-1 for the Islanders. Then at 16:43, it is Dwayne Sutter from brother Brent Sutter and Bob Bourne. That's 4-1 for the New York Islanders. And then on the power play, first power play goal, at 19:02, it is Brent Sutter from Dennis Potvin and brother Dwayne to make it 5-1. And yeah, I can't remember. Did I said 1902? It was 1902 was when that last goal was scored. So that made it 5-1 for the New York Islanders, and that was the final. So they go up 3-0. Saves here. Andy Moog again. Not another bad performance. 23 saves on 28 shots for an .821 save percentage. Billy Smith on fire, stopping 33 of 34 for a .971 save percentage. Power plays, again, awful. Edmonton, 0 for 5. The Islanders, 1 for 4. So the Islanders at least got a power play goal. So it's 3-0. Going into game 4, we're thinking, okay, Edmonton's a little desperate, but this one, it's just the Islanders. The Islanders were like, nope, we're not giving you any shot here. So game 4 starts. First period, Trottier scores on the power play at 11:02, gives the Islanders a 1-0 lead. Pretty good, good start for the Islanders. And then barely 33 seconds later, it is John Tonelli from Bob Nystrom at 11:45. That makes it 2-0 Islanders, and this game's virtually over already. Then at 12:39, it is Mike Bossy from Brian Trottier. Makes it 3-0. So first period ends, it is 3-0 Islanders, and yeah, it's pretty much over, right? Well, it gets a little hairy. Second period, 35 seconds in, Yari Curry from Wayne Gretzky makes it 3-1. All right, so the Oilers got a little life. Then at 19:39 of the second period, it is Messier from Fogelin and Coffey. So it's 3-2. So 3-2 for the Islanders going into the third period. They were up 3-0. Little like, little danger, right? Well, yeah. The Islanders kind of locked it down. And at 18:51 of the third period, scoring into the empty net, it is Ken Morrow, unassisted, to make it 4-2. And the New York Islanders sweep the Edmonton Oilers 4-0, and securing their 4th straight Stanley Cup. Now, because I hadn't done these in the first couple of ones that I done, and I'm like, I should probably do that. People might want to know this. But the power plays for the series, the New York Islanders went 2 for 20. Whoa. The Edmonton Oilers, 0 for 26. Yeah, if you had the man advantage in this series, does their power play suck? Of course it does, because nobody scored. Two power play goals scored on 46 power plays, only 2 goals, both for the New York Islanders. Wow. And Conn Smythe winner for MVP, of course. Who would it be? Billy Smith. Just an amazing run. And this was, of course, the Islanders' 4th straight Stanley Cup. They would try again to go for a 5th straight, and I will be looking at that one too. So basically, it's almost basically keeping a lot of this stuff up, with the exception of this stuff and whoever they played. But yeah, so the Islanders sweep the Oilers 4-0, and it was almost like that was something that needed to happen for the Oilers, because they needed, kind of like how when Pittsburgh lost in 2008 to the Detroit Red Wings, and then they came back again the next year and played the Red Wings. It's almost like, all right, we had to lose that one. No, what do we got to do different? They came back, they did something different, and they won. Kind of like here, the Oilers, a really good, really talented, young, up-and-coming team, got their first taste of the final. They got smacked down. But what a learning experience that ends up being for this team. So, what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think of this. Of course, the New York Islanders, this was their last Stanley Cup. They have not won since. And yeah, so yeah, this is the third one on this in this little playlist, I think. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Go back and watch the other 2 if you want to, get a little feel of what those series were like. And yeah, so the 1983 Stanley Cup champion New York Islanders, their 4th straight Stanley Cup, and what unfortunately would be their last one. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Please hit that like button. Please like the video. Please also subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated, because always kind of helps the algorithm, and of course, light up the comments section. That's always fun too. And yeah, so the 1983 Stanley Cup Final, the Stanley Cup champions for a 4th year in a row, the New York Islanders. And the next one of these that I do will be 1984. So hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments. See you guys later.